My name is Joe. These are just opinions. I am Joepinionated. Today on the 25 best, we're doing the 25 best songs from Tom Waits. Thomas Allen Waits from Whittier, California, broke onto the scene in 1973 and is still around to this day. He's kind of slipped into the golden years and it's been laying low since 2011 for the most part. Puts him at around a 40-year career, around 20 albums. Way to go. Check out, I just ranked the albums in the last episode. This time, top 25 songs from Tom Waits. Number 25 comes from 1983. So that's Swordfish Trombones, and it's 16 shells from a. No. Sorry, that's not what I'm doing. Number 25 comes from 1987, Frank's Wild Years, going with Way Down in a Hole. You might know this one if you ever watched The Wire. They did 5 different versions for 5 seasons of The Wire of this song. 4 different versions of Tom Waits, I think, was the first year. Way Down a Hole. Love the horns on that song. I love how this album sounds. And it gets a lot of complaints for it being kind of tinny and meant to have these distortions. I call them embellishments. Number 24, Blue Valentine from 1978, the title track. It's a solid album. I think, honestly, the David Lynch movie makes me think of this album more often than not, or I'll be thinking of one and then start thinking of the other. Back and forth they go. I don't think they don't have anything to do with each other, but Blue Valentine's a great song. Number 23 comes from 1976, Small Change, Tom Schubert's Blues. 4 Sheets to the Wind in Copenhagen. Mentioned in the previous video that I actually quite liked the Rod Stewart's version on the acoustic unplugged album he put out back in the 90s. And that was certainly my introduction to this. When I heard this, I was like, hey, he's doing a Rod Stewart song. I'm like, wait a sec. Or maybe it was originally a Rod Stewart song and he was covering it. Is that the case? I don't know. Actually, let me have a double check. I don't think so. Amazing song, Waltzing Matilda. He just performed it again in 2025. So if you didn't know that, look it up on YouTube. YouTube Premium is the best. No commercials, none of that stuff. And you can watch this channel. Up next from Big Time in 1985, I'm going with Downtown Train. Big Time, the production on this album is incredible. A lot of jazz themes throughout Big Time. Downtown Train just has so much heart to it. I love the guitars on this one. I think that's Mark Ribot's first album is Big Rain Dogs. This is the kind of stuff I love from Tom. Number 21 comes from Mule Variations, going Big in Japan. I'm pretty sure Les Claypool is on that one too. Mark Ribot, Tom Waits, rocking heavy. Number 20, going with Old 55. That one's from Closing Time. Considered one of his first great songs, but also famously covered, I believe, by the Eagles. I wouldn't know because I can't have a hard time listening to Eagles myself personally. But no disrespect either. I just haven't found a lot of Eagles albums that I can really cling on to. I do like some of the solo projects. Old 55, 1973. Number 19, I'm going with the track Time. Time. I kind of fell in love with this one actually from Big Time, which is like a live album soundtrack to a movie he did. Time. Number 18, I'm going with Rosie. That's off of his debut, Closing Time. Just have these beautiful man in the piano, blues, jazz, lounge singer feel to a lot of them. Really incredible. Great stuff. The best stuff, Closing Time. And the track Rosie is just one of the standouts, and his voice is just smooth at this point. He hasn't swallowed a sandbox yet. 1977 from Foreign Affairs, going with Burma Shave. When YouTube first came out, you could watch old performances of these guys, or even before that, when you could kind of download stuff on the torrents, the old live performances. I remember getting a few of them from around this era, from around the late 70s. And Burma Shave was a standout for me there. He would have these street corner scenes, and I've done all kinds of research on how he writes songs and the transitions he's had. With Tom Waits, you got to kind of want to seek it out, like classical music or early jazz. It's like you're not really just going to discover jazz along the way. You're probably not just going to come into Tom Waits and just be a fan. You're gonna kind of want to seek it out. Yeah, if you want to seek it out, pretty cool era of Tom Waits and really cool era of his performing as well, when he was kind of playing the bigger rooms but still had the one man on the stage kind of feel. Number 16, Everything You Can Think of from 2002. That's from Alice. use a lot of like junkyard instruments and stuff like that, banging on trash cans for percussion or old barn doors and stuff like that. It just sounds kind of weird, but when you hear him talking about how he'd pick out different things that make different sounds, it's quite entertaining. All of his later albums, or most of them, do have that junkyard percussion feel to them with some accordion and, maybe a little bit of some janky guitar from Mark Ribot. And sometimes that can be a little much, but at least it's all 1,000% original. There's never been anything made that sounds anything like that because they weren't beating a tire iron on an old a rusty shoe. There you go. That's very Tom Waitian. Number 15 comes from the album Real Gone, going with Make It Rain. Performance on David Letterman was the one that really put me over the line on Make It Rain, and on this album Real Gone. So link for that on the channel and the Tom Waits Greatest Hit playlist. There's actually 100 videos in that one, so 100 songs there. I've got them all in order, and I've got the link for the Letterman video for Real Gone. Huge Dave Letterman fan. It reminds me of his role in the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. It's got the real devil thing going on, real big bad wolf woof woof going on with his voice in this song, and it's powerful. Like, it's pretty damn unbelievable what he's doing. So Make It Rain at number 15. And I love the guitar work on this one from Ribot. Number 14, I'm going with Innocent When You Dream, the barroom version. That's from 1987 from Frank's Wild Years. I came to love this song from the movie Smoke with Harvey Keitel and Forrest Whitaker and William Hurt. Innocent When You Dream. Number 13, I'm going with Christmas Card from a Hooker in Minneapolis from 1978. That's Blue Valentine again. Incredible story. Maybe my favorite story in a Tom Waits song. And there's a lot of incredible stories in his work. It's not just frantic beat poetry. It's more than that. It's quite thoughtful. The guy is a wordsmith. I just love the tale. This lady calling up and saying things are going okay, things are okay, yeah, putting stuff off, and then kind of getting down to the meat and potatoes of what's really going on in life. Number 12, one of his biggest hits, often covered by Bruce Springsteen from 1980, Jersey Girl. Album Heart Attack and Vine. Fell in love with the Jersey Girl. Fa la 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 la. I really enjoyed listening to this while in New Jersey for the first time last year. Certainly thought of it a lot, spending time there. And I ended up going to Ashbury Park as well. Just thought about it there, heard it in Ashbury. A lot of Springsteen. This is one of his best modern folk songs, Jersey Girl. Up next from Mule Variations, 1999, I'm going to Hold On. Oh, you build it up, you wreck it down. Then you burn your mansion to the ground. Oh, there's nothing left to keep you here. But when you're falling behind in this big blue world, you got to hold on. Hold on. Baby, you got to hold on. Take my hand. I'm standing right here. You got to hold on. Number 10, title track from 2002's Alice. Alice from 2002 comes in at number 10. Theatrical track. It's Dreamy Weather. The tears on my face and the skates on the pond. They spell Alice. Number 9 from 1987's Frank's Wild Years. I'm going with Cold, Cold Ground. Always love the accordion in this one. Love it live, especially big time. Really great version of Cold, Cold Ground. Here's a guy just putting everything he has into every syllable that he's putting out there. Does it so consistently. The songwriting is just kind of crazy to me. Number 8, I'm going with the version off of Big Time, Strange Weather. I mean, I'm a live music connoisseur. I love live music. I can watch it on YouTube and feel just as excited as even being at the show. I've seen a ton of Tom Waits, and Big Time is my favorite Tom Waits recordings for the live shows. Strange Weather, one of the highlights for me. Number 8, Strange Weather. Number 7, I'm going with Eggs and Sausage. There's a recording on the Mike Douglas show from 1976 of this song live, and it gives you a real taste of what Tom's all about. He looks really strung out, but I don't really know if he was. He definitely drank a lot in the early days. There's a lot of history to look into for Tom Waits. It's all out there. I talked forever on the earlier episodes about Tom, so if you really want to know more about Tom, you can go check those out, or read his books, listen to his albums. That's probably the best way to get to know Tom. Eggs and sausage and a side of toast, coffee and a roast. Stream of consciousness. I love this song, this jazzy lounge song. In a Cadillac with Susan Mickelson. Eggs and Sausage in a Cadillac with Susan Mickelson is the title of the song. Number 6 from the debut. This one's gone up a fair bit since the last time I ranked Tom Waits songs. I Hope That I Don't Fall in Love with You from Closing Time. It is a beautiful track, Jesse. You were right. Cheers to you, brother. It never hit home for me until I brought the 50th anniversary album home, and this album really took it to a new level once I had it there and was listening to a nice, crisp, clean new copy. It brought a lot of the first album songs higher up in my rankings. So I Hope That I Don't Fall in Love with You is number one on many lists online that I've seen, and for good reason. It is a really great, easy to listen to track. You can have this as your wedding song, even if 99% of Tom Waits songs will clear out my house. There are some softer, beautiful tracks that are for everybody, and this is, I would say, the number one most palatable Tom Waits song. I Hope That I Don't Fall in Love with You from Closing Time, 1973. Back to good old 1987. The Train song. It's on Frank's Wild Years. I once again prefer Big Time. I love the story he tells about the Civil War soldier before the lead into the song. I love the emotion in the Train song, the desperation. The lyrics are so desperate. What made my dreams so hollow was standing in the depot with a steeple full of swallows that could never ring the bell. I broke down in East St. Louis on the Kansas City line. I drunk up all my money that I borrowed every time. Train song from Tom Waits is one of my all-time favorites. One of probably my most played song on guitar. I always love playing this one on guitar and singing it to myself. Train song. Listen to the live version. Listen to Big Time. If you're not a Tom Waits fan or you're just not getting it, give it one more go and listen to Tom Waits' Big Time. If that doesn't make any sense to you, then just get out, run. Number 4 comes from Swordfish Trombones. It's Jonesburg, Illinois. Once again, love the version on Big Time. I love the version on Swordfish as well. That's where his wife was born. And so it's a love song. I think it's dedicated to his wife. It's a damn good one. She's my only true love. She's all that I think of. Look here in my wallet. That's her. Really cool song. Number 3, it's Take One Last Look. And it's a song he sang to Dave Letterman the last time he was on Dave Letterman. He says this is for you, Dave. So maybe it was for Dave. A really cool song about, honestly, retirement. That's sort of what I think of with it, or moving on from one part of your life to another. Until recently, when he came out and did Tom Schubert Blues on YouTube, there, it was the last thing that I really think of when it comes to Tom Waits. And I always thought that was really cool. In the last week of Dave Letterman, which is also a very pivotal show for me and my childhood and youth. Watched a lot of Dave Letterman. Really became a super fan of Tom Waits through Dave Letterman. Take One Last Look is a beautiful track. Link in the description below and on the playlist on my channel at my friend Joe on YouTube, Joepinionated. Number 2, it was a performance on Dave Letterman of this song that really took me over as well. After watching Smoke, I already owned a Tom Waits album at this point, Frank's Wild Years, but the moment I became a super fan of Tom Waits was seeing him perform number 2, Chocolate Jesus on David Letterman. It was September 27th of 1999. Something just clicked in my brain watching that, and I was a Tom Waits fan ever since. Maybe there's subliminal messaging in that. It's cost me many, many months of my life listening to Tom. Time-wise, not stress or agony at all, just pure joy. I love the song Chocolate Jesus, an immaculate confection. Tom's interview on Dave was great about it as well. I don't go to church on Sundays, don't get on my knees to pray. I don't memorize no books of the Bible. I got my own special way. I know that Jesus loves me, maybe just a little bit more, as I fall down on my knees every Sunday at Zerelda Lee's candy store. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus. Love the guitar work on it. Love everything about it. Chocolate Jesus from Mule Variations comes in at number 2. And number 1, I'm going with a song from the compilation album Orphans. I believe it's the Ballers. It's like a triple album compilation. From 2006, I'm going with Long Way Home. And that's one that Norah Jones covers, and I've heard many covers of it. Beauty song. Also heard Tristan Armstrong cover that. Tristan Armstrong has a new album out right now called Lonely Avenue, and currently charting as my number one album of 2025. Check that out if you haven't heard it. Lonely Avenue from Tristan Armstrong. If you're into Tom Waits, he is too. He does a wicked cover of Long Way Home. Money's just something you throw off the back of a train. Got a head full of lightning. Got a hat full of rain. I love you, pretty baby, but I always take the long way home. Love that song. Very, very pretty. And Tom's got like 50 pretty, beautiful songs like that to choose from. That one really hits home for me, Long Way Home. Thanks again for checking out the channel. Huge respect to Tom Waits. Remember to live and let live, be normal. Remember, there's playlists on my channel for all of these songs. I'm sorry that I'm a little low on facts and high on opinions. Respect to one of my favorite artists, Tom Waits. We out.